Yeah, man. I'm just thinking about that, like how the government, as we see it, has no morals and values on life for everybody. It's like if you're against the machine gonna run you over. You know, if you were metal, they would melt you.
Yeah, yeah, to break you down, right?
Yeah, they'll break you down and melt you and make you into something else. Because you look at United States before this administration, as a family, United States as a family, um, there was some morals and values involved, even though we had a lot of illegal people coming over. Excuse me, but they weren't trying to, hurt the people like they doing now. I mean, they kicking in your door. This is down there martial law type shit to me because this is it's kind of embarrassing. Like, how is this America? I really call it the new America because just like when Trump got into office, he said, "Hell, this is the Gulf of America." So this is a whole new thing. Just like he built this board of peace. You don't have a board of peace, but you bombing, killing people on boats, snatching dictators out of their teepees, and you got all these religious people around, and I don't see anybody in the forefront saying, "Hey, yeah, this is against the law." So some people are above the law, and it trickles down to the family. You take the family for instance. The family is supposed to have a leader, mom or dad, what have you. But this day and age, people aren't even having dinner with each other like we did back when I was 7 and 10 years old. We had to be in before dark to make sure we ate dinner. Nowadays, eat dinner if you want to. Take it to your room. Mind your own business. Internet, social media. It's got the kids. A lot of them really don't know their history because all they know is they're consumers. They're consumers. A lot of these kids will always be slaves to somebody else. I worked 50 years to make sure that I was gonna be okay. That I was gonna be okay for the second half of my life. Because right now, once you get to 40, 50 years old, man, you got less days going forward than you got behind. You didn't all them days behind you. You should be sharing that with the kids that are coming up or with your peers and sharing that knowledge because once you die, that knowledge is gone. You know.
So is that how you came up?
Yeah, I came up. When I came up, I didn't even know what I was even doing. I was just told, go over there and smack her on the ass. I was probably 3, 4 years old. I run up, pow, smack her on the ass. She looking around, and they look down. It's me. Who told
tell
you to smack your ass?
well, just for context, tell the people where you were at this time.
Oh, okay. So I was in East Oakland, East 14th and 73rd. That's called Hagenberger, right down the street from the Coliseum, and that's where I was. I was born in Oakland Hospital, and I was raised right there in 73rd. I had family all through Oakland and up and down the Bay Area, and it was just a way of life. To to try to be cool like the older cats. And so if you were teachable, somebody would grab you and show you some game. Whether you like working on cars, whether you like fixing bicycles, making mud pies with the girls, whatever you wanted to do. If you wanted to be a pimp, and you followed that pimping, somebody pull you up under their coat and be like, yeah, we're gonna raise him to be a little young drug dealer, or a young pimp, or a doctor, or a lawyer, a fireman. We had firemen in our community that would let us get on the fire truck and ring the bell, and those interactions were very important to me at my young age, and that's just like, listening to music at the time. We had James Brown, Black and I'm Proud. It was a lot of pride that we took into consideration when I was coming up. So when rap music came, I was like, oh, these are reporters. These are people are pissing on the street like they just don't care.
Yeah, they was telling a story. I mean, yeah, they still, well, these days they ain't telling much of a story, but yeah, it was original storytellers.
Yeah, but it was a segregational story, because this was what was happening in the black community. The white community didn't have what we have now. It's on both sides. You got white dudes call each other niggas, niggas calling each other niggas, Mexicans call each other niggas, but you don't hear niggas saying, hey, wetback, or hey, nigga, cracker, stuff like that. So it's like, damn, has everything just evolved around the black culture, and is it pigeonholing the future? Because these prisons still have to be filled, and I don't see any change in that for a while. So it's pretty wild that a lot of
the prison industrial complex it's privatized, so it's all about the money too.
Yes.
So
there's big money in it, and with that being said, when I was hanging out on the street and stuff like that, the older cats came up to me and said, hey, we gonna start doing legal business, because they building all these prisons, and I'm telling you, we don't want to be in this game, because they have a whole agenda, and the whole agenda was to get as much brown and blacks into these private sales so they can make $50,000 on each person. Well, it happened, but I'm thankful that I had sense enough to listen to my elders that took me to church, that showed me right from wrong, at least gave me the balance so that I can make a good decision. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do music and get out the game. So I've been very thankful that I've been teachable. I think that's a very big word that these days that people need to understand. Is like, the only way you're going to make it in the world is somebody has to teach you. You have to apply yourself, and you have to want it to win it. Nothing's going to just be given to you. And these days and time, I hear a lot of parents, say, man, they just ungrateful. They're ungrateful because we have such an abundance that they don't know how it feels not to have what we didn't have. We got way more than we had when I was 13, 15 years old. A car back then only cost $5,000. Now it's 10 times that much. You gotta have 50 grand.
They don't know nothing about that, man.
Yeah, you gotta have bands out here.
You gotta have some history on you.
Yeah, you gotta have some bands on you out here. So and that's just like even the podcast. This is really where it's all at for me. Is information. You know.
So what's the law about on this one? It's like
It's the law that if you know better, then you need to do better. Okay, it's the law that if you see something wrong, you need to make it right. So just because you want a Stephen King make songs or movies that's about killing each other, just know, hey, in real life, that's a human being. The way Renee Nicole got shot, I could not have been that ICE agent and just shoot her right in the head that close range just because I can. I could have just moved out the way and said, I'm gonna shoot that bitch if she try that shit again.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just from what I've seen, I don't think he had a chance to move out the way.
Right, but here's the thing. But did you for a second say, it looked like he probably could have got out the way?
I don't, from what I saw, she was peeling out too much. He got hit.
Well, I'm just saying, it's other things. Okay, like the man the other day.
Well, on your note, I think, he could have, the way I look at it is, he could have made sure he wasn't in front of the car. But I think they're taught to do that. So it's kind of like, okay, you're putting yourself in the situation, and then the way the law is, you have your out. You know what I mean?
Well, my situation looking at it was, why did you get in the way? You was out the way. Why didn't you go around the back of the car? Why did you go in front of the car? You already had somebody right next to her door. So the point I'm making is the value of life.
I think that's
messed up in the United States. The value of life, and it starts from the top down, because look, we watching and this ain't Mortal Kombat. This ain't Call of Duty. This is real live ship blowing up, vessels, people dying. Where is the humanity part of it all? Is the sad part about America right now to me. I'm like, well, better hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your mom, hide your daddy, because they can come in any door now they want to.
But I think they've always had that ability, but it was always tampered down. It kind of goes up and down, but depending on who's in power, who's in the office, is what they allow.
I'm looking at it as the escalation part of it is when you have been given the right to be lawless, then there should be some type of guideline that says you got to have a humanitarian type of thought pattern with that. These are American citizens. Like they pulled that man in the freezing cold in his underwear, and he was a citizen. It's just a lot of unnecessary trauma to our culture as Americans. And I look at the whole world is looking at us like, damn. But in retrospect, I'm looking like, y'all kind of living the way niggas live in the ghetto.
I mean, it's gotten to that point because the way the economy and society is now, it's dog eat dog. Everybody's out for themselves.
Yeah.
And it's get what you can. It's like we're devolving into a roach society. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you get what you can, and everybody else be damned. You know what I mean? Because like we were talking, like the whole family structure is broken up.
Yeah.
So we have nothing to strive for or look for because the government has divided us so well.
Right.
I say so well because I think that was the plan. You know what I mean? So they've done their job so well that everything is geared towards what can the government do to help me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We're not out here trying to make ourselves better. We're trying to live whatever way we want because we know that government's gonna step in and they're gonna help us out whenever we get too bad.
Yeah.
But right now it's like, nah, it's done. Everybody's just out there just doing whatever the hell they want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody is, how should I say,
Accountable.
nobody's accountable. Yeah, definitely.
There's nobody accountable because let's look at it this way. Money is the root of all evil, they say, right? I don't believe that personally, because I believe it's evil not to have money. I think you need money in this world. But I'll tell you one thing, man, that's messed up is how does the president of the United States and all those politicians, for the most part, making all this money on the backs of the citizens of the United States? Selling watches, got gold shoes, Bibles. I bet you if they did that in China, somebody would die.
Yeah, but would you want to live in China under that boot? I'm not saying it's better or anything's better or worse, but the way things are here, it's like you said, money is the root of all evil, and it's encompassed in capitalism. So
right.
Everybody's out trying to make the most of what they can, but then the people that are on the bottom, they're like, oh well, I need you to buy my service, I need you to buy my product.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But
and
the people on the
and the presidential and the government now is all populist.
Right.
So, and I think, I can't remember what book it is that somebody wrote, but they said once we get to that point where government has become populist and it's all about popularity,
right,
that's one of the signs of your society is about to crumble.
Right. I believe that. That's definitely how I feel, because it's hard to believe it. Here we are, 2026, and it's me versus you instead of us as a government and as a community society. It saddens me to go from the 80s and 90s when disco was out. Everybody takes Saturday Night Fever. There was everybody on the dance floor, black, white, Italian, New York. Everybody was together. It wasn't just like, oh well, since the Republicans want to do this and I'm a Republican, I'm gonna go with it. There was, Republicans like John McCain that said, I ain't going with that. But now when you have money in play, where you can manipulate a person's ethics, the way America is right now, they ethics is it's the morals and values of this country has gone down so bad, and it's the law that you do not rob your partner. Now that's the law.
Law right there.
That's the fucking law. Yeah, I know your stash. I know you got, some money, some keys. They stashed over here, over there. My safe house, or I'm gonna go rob you, and then act like I didn't rob you. And hey, man, damn, you got robbed? What? Then come to find out, your fingerprints all on the freaking front door. On the doorknob is your fingerprint. Now it's the law that you should be accountable for that. There's no accountability. Like how he just gonna take Greenland. I played the game of Risk. I love it. I love his strategy on it. But the humanity part, I
mean, you got to give it to him though. He played that game.
That dude cold,
and he played it well.
Before he got caught up with trying to kill the Central Park Five and all that, and I was reading his books, and I was like, man, Donald Trump, he a real player in the game. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knew he was a player, you know. He probably, you know, he was like a Hugh Hefner type player, you know. So he was, I mean, think about it. They even have like a slogan, getting trumped. Man, that is not like something like a positive thing, man. He trumped me. That's like a negative in conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that name's been around since his pops and his pops. So
they don't say you Rockefeller me.
That's true.
I guess
let's see, Rockefeller went insane though, didn't he?
Yeah. You know, so you know, with that being said, man, I'm like, man, you gotta be your own government to a certain extent. You know, cross your T's, dot your I's, all that. Yeah, you better do that. You know, I stay close to my network because I have, you know, tax people, I have lawyers, I have different business associates, doctors, you know, and I keep in touch with them. We have, you know, great marketing, you know, accounts with these people, and we all share knowledge. And they might, you know, some of my people, they closer, so they can tell me, say, hey, we want to give you the update. You need to move your money or hold your money right now because April, it's going to get real rough. And I was like, what? Yeah, April's going to get real rough because it's part of that Project 25 whole move. It's all, the play is already there. But, you know, with all the distractions, this is why these people can't get it together, you know.
Well, that's the name of the game, right? Distract.
Exactly. Exactly.
Distract and then
distract and attack.
Yeah, I like some of that.
Attack.
You know, distract and infuse, you know, your ideology while they're distracted, you know.
Yeah. And it's it's on us. It's on the community as a whole to be pushing the truth. Don't let the lie get bigger and bigger without stopping it. You see, now it's too much for you to handle. You know, so that's like falling into a black hole. You done went too far out there. You can't come back. So they're in the abyss right now.
Yeah, but then you can't come back, but then they suck everybody else down with you.
That's it. Like Drano. Man, shit. I'm telling you, man. It's and you know, with that being said, it's the law that I tell you that you're gonna have to balance your music life, your entertainment. Take some time for yourself. Get away from electronics for a day. Go for a walk.
Do some art. Do something. Do
something more creative. I remember I did a paper in college, and I told my teacher, she said, "What a concept! You are telling your listeners to invoke things that made you happy as a child back into your adult life, so that you have a more meaningful life." And I said, absolutely, because if you stop riding a bicycle, you're not going to be healthier than if you did. But you had a lot of great enjoyment when you was on that bicycle when you was a kid. Get back on the trail. Go roller skating. Sit down with your kids. A lot of these people these days, they so caught up in being at the club and their kids sitting there suffering.
Oh no, I don't think anybody go to the club no more.
I don't know. They out there.
I mean, they out there. I've been hearing like club scene is just pretty much dead. I mean, they might be at the bars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't hear of anybody going to clubs no more.
Yeah, they be clubbing over there, just like Ice Cube. They be clubbing.
We be clubbing.
Yeah, they be clubbing for real. You know, and it's just one of those deals, man, where I'm just looking at how everything is geared towards the black money too. Because you think about it, country just had a big ass fallout with Beyonce, and now every rapper's with somebody country.
Well, I think the like I was talking with Vanilla Gorilla on his interview. I think the lighter skins, they picked up on that and they started running with it. So now it's the country rap scene.
Right.
You know,
it's dope.
Yeah. I can't knock it at all. They're doing it.
I love it. It's really got a hold on me. You know what I'm saying? So I listen to a lot, just like the hipster trap music and rap music that's coming now. It's gonna take over drill because everybody is tired of all the violence.
Do people listen to drill still?
Yeah. They listen to drill, but the new stuff. See, since AI came out with remaking Tupac into a crooner song, all that has changed the whole dynamics of the range of what music is like now. And I think it's pretty dope because it's starting to go into another direction of or more humanity and more soulfulness than murderous type music, you know. But there's murders out here. I mean, that's how it is. San Antonio's got a big murder rate. I mean, they're like 93% some stuff.
Really? I mean,
higher than everybody else.
93% of what?
Than the other cities around.
Man,
I have to look it up. I'm telling you, it's high per capita.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna try to look that up real quick.
I'm telling you, I was
go ahead. I'm gonna pull it up while you're talking.
Yeah, you know, and you know and things have changed to where you got legal marijuana, so you don't hear about a whole bunch of people dying over weed like they was fighting over. Somebody was trying to sell 2 pounds or 5 pounds and got robbed. They're like, shit, you can get weed at the corner store. So you don't hear about those types of violent crimes that there used to be a lot of that. Now you don't hear so much about it. And I'm just seeing how everything is geared towards the infiltration of the black community to be held back from what they want to do. And I think it's all because the minstrel show, pretty much, to me. That this is how it looks to me, because when I pull up my white friends on Facebook, they feed ain't like mine. All my feed is look at this dude dancing. Look at finesse 2 times cussing out somebody. All black on black kind of annotations that I'm like, I got some white people too. They got some stuff going on.
Yeah, I was looking at the highest murder rates. I mean, I don't see San Antonio in the top 10, but New Orleans is number 1.
Yeah.
You got Memphis, which kind of threw me off. St. Louis, I can see that. Baltimore, Birmingham, Alabama.
I think what I read was like on the east side of San Antonio, there's more murders.
Oh, you mean in San Antonio itself?
For that side of town, for that many people. In other places, that's a lot. And you want to hear something else that drives me crazy? Somebody can get shot and killed, murdered by an officer. We have in San Antonio the biggest Martin Luther King march in the whole nation, and only 100 people will show up to protest a wrongful death. It shows how, you know, you have to look at things in a bigger light than, for me, living in San Antonio. I live here, but I play elsewhere, really, because San Antonio don't want to let go of yesterday. I go to California. I can just go up the street to Austin, and technology there, it blows me away that here I am 60 miles away, and San Antonio still got the same elevators from 1942. In Austin, they got elevators that'll shoot you up there in 10 seconds. You be like, bam! Welcome to the Jetsons, you know what I'm saying? they got technology moving around there. You know what I'm saying? So over here, it's slow boogie.
They just got a big infusion of money recently too. So I can see that. But see, Austin's always been they've always been, you know, more progressive.
Modern,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
And San Antonio's always been they pride themselves in staying cultural and staying. I would like to say family oriented, but I don't think it's there anymore.
Yeah.
But just in the way the city planning is, you can tell they don't want no skyscrapers. They don't want none of that stuff. So
well, you can tell by the lighting. You take the lighting on the east side, you go up to Stone Oak. It's lit up. It's nice. They have left the east side of San Antonio and rumble. Rubbish. Potholes everywhere. Train tracks, tear your car up, you know. Make sure you don't come out this way, you know. It's sad.
That's people, everybody listening, that's Kasilo Choka with the law. You know, we kind of all over the place on this one, but we'll tighten it up and get it to you. But I hope y'all tune in. This is the first of one of our live series.
Well, I'm just kicking out a bunch of scenarios and things to think about as we take this journey called It's the Law. I'm gonna be bringing some guests. I'm gonna be talking about some things that are really gonna be important. You know, let us know what's on your mind, because you know you take It's the Law just like you take an oath. You know, I'm sworn to my beliefs, and I'm gonna stand on it. You know, so I just hope y'all enjoy, you know, what we do here at BlaakTones TV, and we look forward to giving y'all more and more. You know what I'm saying?
Stick around for a lot more program. We're gonna be more in tune with the entertainment and bringing you a variety of different entertainment. So that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Like BlaakTones TV, y'all. Kasilo Choka. It's the law.
Yes,
Peace.
sir. It's the law. Live by it.